Hello, Texans. I'm Susana, and this is the Susana Gibb Show. It may sound a little different today. I'm on the SoPac Trail, which is one of the trails that runs through Dallas. It's a walking and biking trail. And it's beautiful here in Texas. It's going to be 89 today. Is it March yet? No. Anyway, that's Texas for you. So I thought I would get out and do the intro and the outro here on the trail. On this podcast, we talk to a lot of artists, idealists, entrepreneurs, but today is an artist. Her name is Mylan Nguyen. She's very sweet, and she talks a lot about how part of her process is using this Japanese riso printer, which is really fascinating to me. The blending of technology with art and how it becomes a whole new thing at the end of it. Again, she's super sweet. We talked a lot before and after the cameras were off. Sometimes I get some of the best stuff when the cameras are off. She's a mom, she's a teacher, an artist, trying to figure out how to juggle it all, which I'm sure a lot of us can relate. And we're going to end this podcast with our Texas trivia again, and then I'll come back and we'll do an insurance tip of the week. And now, on with the show. On the podcast with me today, we have Mylan Nguyen of Strange Powers Press. I'm super excited to hear about your riso printer.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here to talk about the riso.
So the riso, for somebody who's not familiar with this, like myself, honestly, there's something about all the cool new printers coming out. I think it's one of the things that are hard to describe unless you see them. So I know you were talking about a screen printer versus a riso printer, and even like hearing what a screen printer is. Well, let's just, you go ahead and you explain what it is.
Risograph printer is a printer that's made from Japan, and it sort of squishes together or marries or combo the idea of screen printing and then like a Xerox machine. So how you go to Kinko's and put down a document to make like office papers, it's like that. The difference from the Xerox machine is that they use toner-based ink, and the risograph use a soy-based ink, where each and every color is printed one at a time. So that's a lot how screen printing is. And screen printing, you don't really need a machine to screen print. Some people have screen printing machines because they're doing large runs of something like t-shirts or posters, and they're going to do like 1,000 of them. And so in that same way, the risograph printer prints one color at a time, and it uses these screens, except instead of being silk, it's a banana fiber. And instead of being light sensitive, it's a thermal process.
So why would somebody come and say, hey, Mylan, I want you to print this for me with your riso?
So risograph printing, it has a pretty unique look. It's also because the materials are more natural. A lot of people are attracted to sort of the sustainability aspects of it.
Some of the people that come to you and say, hey, I want 30 prints. Is it commercial printers? Are more art installations?
For us, different riso presses run in a lot of different ways. So we're kind of a really small run business. It's just me and my husband, Taro. And we've mainly been using the risograph printer to print our own artwork. We both have illustration sort of backgrounds. Taro's a graphic designer with a lot of experience in sort of like t-shirt design and commercial printing for t-shirts. So he had a love of screen printing from that, and that's kind of how we fell in love with the riso.
You're coming into it knowing that the printing process is also part of the art process.
Yes.
You can't come in with this thing and expect it to look exactly like this. That part of the print is going to be
the finished result is a result of the process.
Yeah, I love seeing people come in sometimes wary about a new concept and then excited leaving with something that they made. So we also, with the risograph printer, other than printing for friends and ourselves, we have done a couple of residencies or pop-ups where education and involvement with the community was a big part. And that started with I was getting my MFA at SMU, and at the time we did a project with the Pollock Gallery, which is involved with SMU, and it was called Riso Bar. And so we brought our machine and sort of made a little zine library and did some workshops in education. And we did that at the bathhouse as well. So we do use the Riso sort of to educate and do workshops and teach other people about risograph printing. Yeah.
It's so interesting. I'm excited to see it in person. I think it's one of those things, to be able to see it and almost hold it and look at it is a lot.
It's crazy. Because if you see the printer, it looks like, who abandoned this copy machine from the 80s? Like, it's the yellow plastic. A lot of people decorate them with stickers and stuff, but it really is a little time capsule.
But people want to find you. How do they find you?
They can go on Instagram at Strange Powers Press. My personal work, I have a website for. It's Maison Mylan, so it's MAISON MYLAN, and yeah, I think that I also have that handle for Instagram. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about your art and your Riso. And actually, the Rando Texas trivia I have lined up, I'm kind of excited about, because you just said you went to LA for undergrad, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you ready to play Rando Texas trivia?
Yes.
All right. So, it was in the news this past week. What Texas institution is now in Las Vegas?
I don't know. What is it?
Whataburger. They have a Whataburger in Las Vegas. That's right. Everybody needs a Whataburger. But
also my this week.
Yeah. And it's 24 hours a day, which will be great there. So do you know when Whataburger was founded?
No.
1950. Corpus Christi, Texas.
Perfect.
That was the very first one. Of course, during the 50s, right? The burger days, the cars, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I would say did you go to In-N-Out when you were in LA?
I did, yeah. There was one close to where I went to school. And that was a good
In-N-Out. Yeah, they're like the Whataburger of California, basically.
Right. And then when we got one here, people were pretty excited.
They were freaking out all over the place. And I have people who come to visit up north, and they're like, we got to go to Whataburger. And I was like, my car is going to stay for 3 days if we go to Whataburger. And they're like, whatever. We're going. Thank you, Mylan, for being with us today. I appreciate your time explaining the Riso for me. Yeah, I'm gonna hang up, but don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I wish I could see this little printer thing that she's talking about. It sounds so interesting. I want to touch it. Something about art. Yeah, I want to touch it. I want to touch it. And now, our insurance tip of the week. You guys, it's still crazy out there on personal lines. We've got carriers who are pulling out of the market. We have to do jazz hands sometimes to get people approved. And sometimes the questions we get is, should I file a claim? If the claim is not going to be more than the deductible, let's not file it, especially this year. You can always have somebody come out and do an estimate to see if it's going to be more. And if it's not, then don't file it. If it's another water claim, meaning this would be your second or your third, if you cannot file it this year, maybe not. Carriers are finding they're not finding new ways to drop people, but they're becoming really restrictive on the type of clients that they want. So keep that claims-free discount if you can. Thank you so much for being with us today. We'd love to connect with you. Please go to giveagencydallas.com for feedback, inspiration, or criticism. Thanks again. Have a great one. See you again in 2 weeks.